Hello, Musto006. We're back for part 5 of I Want to Be the Permanence. Last time completed the I Want to Be the Pico area, which the area itself, for the platforming section, no real complaints about whatsoever. I do think the sort of final stretch with the rotating spike wheels is the more difficult section of that area, but say even so, didn't give me too many troubles, at least I don't think so. But the scribble boss, I hate that thing, and I never want to think about it or see it ever again. And yeah, that'd be the last of it. The good news is I think we do have the worst two bosses in the game completed, and I say not even the most difficult, probably possibly even the ones that might take the least amount of time, funnily enough, but just from a sheer tedium or frustration point of view, they're out of the way, and I am glad about that. Anyway, last time the Pico area was at the top middle, so continuing the night round the chessboard pattern, we're going to be going bottom right. And that brings us to the I Want to Be the Uhuhu Spike 2 area, which I mentioned at the end. I think probably some part in the middle of part 3 and at the end of part 4. So yeah, we've got another one of the Uhuhu Spike areas, which do tend to be. I think I mentioned this I Want to Get Cultured 2. Do tend to be used quite a lot, or referenced quite a lot in a lot of medley games, or in this case quasi-medley games. Yeah, as you can see there, the first screen there, really no problem whatsoever. So yeah, and I kind of feel like this area is probably actually slightly easier than the first, or the Uhuhu Spike 1 area. For the most part, there are a couple of the screens, a couple of areas that are quite problematic, and I'm expecting them to cause me some problems. But oh really? All things considered, for the most part, although this area I think is longer, I think it is anyway, at least in terms of numbers of screens, wow, than the Uhuhu Spike area. Yeah, I think it's a little bit easier, a little bit more forgiving, and yeah, not quite so many. Can I please not keep messing up that jump? Not quite so many really frustrating manoeuvres to have to pull off. Again, for the most part. Are you joking me? What am I even doing there? That's just terrible. I did it like first go as well. And okay, so yeah, what was good? That was bound to happen. Yeah, was just obviously hit that spike way too much, or way too many times that I've overcompensated. Can we pull this off now? Thank you, and pull off the rest before we start celebrating. We can. Good. Yeah. The bit at the top right, obviously, was just jumping into the spike way too much. So the go before I just got absolutely nowhere, I jumped way too early, as I was obviously overcompensating, and whacked my head on the ceiling as well, and just had absolutely no chance whatsoever. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's not too bad. I didn't think it was, and finally we're done. That is absolutely awful. Don't hit your head on the block. I can't remember for this one whether I think there might be a good align for this one. Yeah, I'm going to play around with a few aligns now. Oh, that was close. But I've hit the pit of ceiling there. That's no good. Okay, that seems to work. Let's try that one as well. See whether that one's any good. Again, hitting the block's not going to do me any favours. I don't know if technically then whether a line is necessary here. Ultimately, it might just be that you need to do a really good jump. Okay, that one works as well. I'm going to align against one of the. If I fail this, let's hope I don't actually. Well, that was annoying. Right, fine. Anyway, we'll rub up against that. We'll rub against the that wall, and we'll try and pull the jump off from there. Again, yeah, not sure whether this align or indeed the one. In fact, the one on the other side seemed to work as well. So, don't know if it's strictly necessary, but it seemed to be going a bit easier. What really? It seemed to be going much better than when I hadn't rubbed up against either wall. So, yay. Okay, let's just take my time a bit more there so I can do a vertical jump. Ah, seriously? Well, I mean, now that I've got the, now that I think I've got that set. Wow! At least in terms of the align, it should be fine. Hopefully this won't take too long now. All I've got to do is just land in this little gap here. Finally, thank you. Good grief. Right, moving on. Okay, this is one of the two screens that I was mentioning before that I think could cause me a fair amount of problems. Although, I'm not going to bother with the line here. I'm just going to go for it. Okay, fine. I mean, if I pull this off, this go, that would be incredible. No, that jump was absolutely bloody awful. Fantastic. This save is one of the two that I was mentioning before that I think is actually one of the two trickiest in the stage. So having got, I think it was even first go through to the last jump. That last jump is well, incredibly disappointing to mess up on, but still it is quite difficult. So I'm not surprised I did. But yeah, this bit at the bottom is tricky. This jump here and also this one. Just never a fan of these low ceiling jumps with spikes hanging down. I'm never very good at just doing the sort of the tiny hops very well, or I can certainly never do. Certainly can't do them consistently. Let's put it that way. My problem here at the moment seems to be that I am pulling off the tiny hops, but I'm not moving far enough over to the right hand side to actually clear the spikes on the floor, which is very, very bad. I've rubbed up against that wall now. I don't know whether that's going to be helpful or not. Okay, doesn't matter anyway. That's brilliant. I was expecting possibly that to cause quite a few problems. It certainly did first time I played this. The bit at the bottom went by a lot easier than I did before. And man, that jump there, pain in the neck. And I'm glad to have it out of the way so soon. Yeah, that's fantastic. As you can see, the second half of that screen, really no problem whatsoever. But it looks like we haven't got an immediate save. So okay, if I screw up here, I'm going to have to do that again. He's hoping no, but so even if I do, it wasn't like it was that difficult anyway. But looks like I'm not going to anyway. Famous last words. I should have made that. I should have made sure that I made that jump before I said that. Because if, oh my god, I'd lost my double jump somehow, or I'd hit the ceiling, or jumped too early and landed on that spike, or any other spike there down over there, then that would have been cataclysmically bad. But no, thankfully my getting ahead of myself didn't cause me to come a cropper there. Wow, that would have been dreadful. Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna need to. Do I jump from there? I think. Yeah, fine. Okay. I think I do anyway. Yeah, I can get over there. That's fine. This jump does not look especially nice, but I say in the grand scheme of things, I don't think this jump is all that bad. Getting up to it actually is not that. Wow! I actually did it and then failed to move right to clear it. Are you joking me? I did the hard part. I made the long jump over there, got my double jump in the perfect area between those two spikes, and just for some reason failed to move sufficiently far over to the right to clear the spike. Are you joking me? That was just awful and frankly inexcusable, having made the jump. Oh, wow, okay, at least that one, I'm absolutely gutted about it, but it is at least excusable in the sense that it's a twin mini spike jump that you could mess up on. The one where I just didn't move far enough over to the right was just blur. I have no earthly reason why I wouldn't do that. There's literally, yeah, having made that, I wasn't going to land. I wasn't going to hit the spike that was on the wall, because otherwise I'd have hit it sooner than that. There was just no reason whatsoever not to make that jump. That was absolutely awful. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely gutted about dying to the twin mini spikes. Because yeah, clearly the jump at the long drop down and then the jump the jump over the last spike is problematic, but yeah, getting up to it, it's not that bad. Pretty straightforward. I should get lots of goes at it. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I'd really like to not mess up on the twin mini spike jump, and also the gate jump at the end. Wow, that would have been bad to have died to as well, but thankfully no. And yes, I'm making sure, absolutely sure, yes, we have saved it. Good. Okay, moving on. There's a nice safe spot here. I mean, without it, it'd be pretty much impossible anyway. So, yeah, I think we're making good progress. Nothing has caused me considerable problems at the moment, which is fantastic. That's no good at all. I mean, I guess we can obviously go around and do it again, which we're going to have to do now anyway because I've died, but that attempted jump there was just absolutely awful. I didn't get anywhere near enough, like, distance to the right or height. That was just terrible. I suppose I obviously could have just still gone for it, just tried to make the double jump and go to the right as far as possible, but frankly, I'm pretty much adamant that the first jump I made was just gave me no chance whatsoever at it. Absolutely none. I don't know why I held back quite so much, or at all, frankly. Yes. Okay. Careful. And careful here as well. Good. Okay, cool. I don't think anything here is too problematic. Maybe this jump's a little bit difficult, but the rest of it should be. I mean, again, I'm going to die for this probably quite a few times just because it's a little bit tricky to time out the jump, the double jump perfectly so you get over. Wow, what? I was holding left. I was holding left. I have absolutely no idea how I did not make that platform. Literally none. But yeah, anyway, I think there's only really one problematic jump here, and yeah, hopefully we should get a fair few goes at it. Shouldn't take too long to get back to. But it is a little tricky. I think the key obviously trying to be needing to do little jumps, obviously big enough ones so that you actually get over to the left. But yeah, obviously tiny enough ones so that you don't hit the spikes above you. Okay, good. I didn't mess that up. And hopefully I won't mess this up either. And hopefully there's a save immediately on the next screen. Good. No gate jumps or last minute manoeuvres to have to pull off. Nice. Cool. We are making very decent progress. Although I say that as we come up to what I consider to be the worst section, or the most difficult, sorry. Worst is probably a bit maybe too harsh, but the most difficult save section on the of this area. I do not like, although I'm considerably better at them now. We had to go up to here, by the way, to the top left for that crosshair. Yes, because of the end of to get rid of some spikes that were here. In fact, I'm just going to stop talking for this moment to see whether I can actually clear this. Fantastic, we can't. Lovely. Well, that was absolutely awful. As you can see, trying to do like tiny hops just to trying to get myself set there. I ended up just not doing any jump whatsoever and walking into the spike. Fantastic. Anyway, it is these three jumps here. Obviously between the gate jump and then having enough height to clear the spikes that are on the platforms on the right hand side. These jumps are not very nice. I don't like them at all. And the fact that we've got to do three in the one save, or sorry, just in this one section, kind of nasty. Don't like those at all. They're not absolutely terrible, but I feel like I've got a better idea now where I'm sort of holding back just a little bit more with the initial jump than I was when I first came to this. So I feel like I'm better at this than I was when I first came to it, because good grief, this section took ages. That was too, well, I don't want to say too high, but I just, I mean, ideally that was too high with my double jump there, but obviously, of course, I just ended up moving to the left too soon there. Dang it. Yeah, that drop is not terrible, but there's a few, well, yeah, the few tricky manoeuvres in there to have to pull off, so yeah, this one where you need to do a fairly nicely timed double jump through. This, which I don't like at all, because there was a mini spike above my head here, so I feel like I need to do a small hop and then jump down. Well, that wasn't too bad. This one you can just walk off, and that one you can sort of walk off, but don't, you can just idle off, but be careful. Obviously, there's a tiny mini spike sticking out there, so walk off, drop down just the tiniest bit, and then walk off again, and then kind of hold left again. So don't hold left when you walk off. I think you'll career into this spike. But yeah, so you just want to left, stop a tiny little bit, and then left again, and I think you should be fine with that. Okay, fine. We have got past what I think to be the hardest save section of the area, and we've also got past the second hardest one as well. So yay, happy days. Here's hoping the rest is not too bad. Okay, I'm sort of like over-egging the annoyance there because, wow, that was a bit annoying. But, yeah, compared to the first save on this screen, this second one is, yeah, a lot easier, a lot nicer when you're not doing really stupid things. Although, yeah, the fact, again, that it ends up being mini spikes that trips me up, always annoying. Okay, good, fine. Those ones, I don't like those ones. The ones where you've got mini spikes. Obviously, I'm glad they're mini spikes and not giant spikes. If they're regular sized spikes, then it's probably impossible anyway. But those little gate jumps. I'd much rather just have a normal gate jump than a mini one like that, where you've got mini spikes on the floor of the ceiling. Those ones are difficult for me because I say I'm never any good from a consistency point of view about being able to pull off small jumps, and I've never ever been able to jump cancel or anything like that. So yeah, I'm just reliant on being able to pull off low jumps when I need to, which is, as I say, I'm not the best at. That was awful, that jump. My attempt at it, not the actual jump itself. Let's make that clear. That was just a pathetic attempt. In probably what is actually possibly the hardest manoeuvre of the screen. We'll see, I guess. I cannot believe I just did that. There is so much room there. Yeah, the screen as a whole is really not so bad at all. Wow. There's no intermediate save or anything, but there frankly doesn't need to be. I cannot believe I got the furthest I got there and then died. There's so much damn room there. And the bit at the bottom right, well, that whole bit at the bottom right, honestly, is yeah, I am absolutely devastated to have died anywhere over on that right hand side of the screen. That's just awful. Yeah, there's so much room there. It's not even funny. I mean, look at this as well. There's no triggers. If this stuff triggered, which isn't a staple of the Uhuhu Spike games anyway. But I mean, if this, look at that. There's so much room there. The spike I died to at the top right there is awful. If that were a gate jump, it wouldn't even be that bad. But it's like there's two blocks worth to get through. There's a drop down there that's just absolutely literally child's play and. Yeah, I mean, if you die on anything there, then just wow. That was awful. Don't know how I managed to die on that right hand side of the screen, but oh well. Thankfully, it didn't take me too long to clear the rest. And yeah, if ever there was a generous save, here it is. I mentioned that as much on the Uhuhu Spike Area 1 about there being a very generous save. But yeah, ultimately no, because if there wasn't a save there, I'm not sure I'd ever actually clear that screen ever, given the trickiness of the final bit of that final section of that screen. But yeah, here I actually do feel like it is quite generous. I don't actually feel like without the stuff at the on the second half of the screen being gimme stuff by any means, and that jump there is obviously causing me a few problems at the moment. I think I could very easily see there not being a save there, and I don't think I'd complain that much, to be honest. The jump there at the bottom has obviously caused me a fair few problems. I didn't think it was that bad, I must admit. But yeah, I don't think I could realistically have too much cause for complaint if that that middle save there wasn't there. Yep. As I think I've demonstrated. And this one seems, I don't know if this one seems fairly generous, but anyway, I certainly think the one on the last screen does. The second half of the second half of that screen is not too troublesome at all. Anyway, moving. I'm not going to complain about it. let's just take the win and move on. Although again, speaking of slightly generous saves, there's not much you have to pull off in order to get to this save. And yeah, I almost feel like, I don't know with this one, I feel like there's a few tricky manoeuvres here where I'd be kind of not upset, but certainly having the save here I think is a big help, because I think this would take considerably longer if there was no save there. This first little kind of, that was awful. This first little manoeuvre is kind of tricky, and indeed the last jump before the save is not really a gimme for me. It's not really very nice to me either. So yeah, I'm certainly appreciative of the save there. But as I said, again, I still don't think I could complain that much if it wasn't there. Ugh. Okay, maybe I need to just drop down a little bit more or something. I don't quite know at the moment. Yeah, something like that. I just didn't put myself into a full jump there. Not really sure why, given that was the strategy I was going to employ. Not quite sure why I did that, but oh well. Oh yeah. Of course, there obviously is a small matter of getting in the gap between the first and second spikes here, but as I say, it's not too bad. Blast. I would like to have that bit at the top done though, or not to keep messing up on the last jump. Again, it's not terrible, but would like it done. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's... You do have to be... Yeah, so you do have to be very low down. I'm obviously finding that a lot of the time I'm just... Which is why, you know, some of them are looking quite stupid in the sense that I'm obviously quite appreciative of the fact that I need to pretty much make a full jump at pretty much the lowest point here. Which is why the last, like, 10 times in a row, I think literally I've died now. But, again, I feel like that's better. Yes, good. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Anyway, I feel like I still feel better about doing that than jumping too high and jumping too early and hitting the spikes on the ceiling. There's just something about feeling like I've not given myself a chance. I mean, obviously I've died earlier, but still, I feel better leaving it to the last minute as opposed to you know, jumping prematurely. Anyway, moving on. I feel like we must be approaching somewhat the end, or we haven't got too long left. I feel like we've done a lot of screens. That for the most part I think have gone by very, very well. No real complaints about how this has gone so far at all. Oh, come on. Yeah, there's one... I feel like there's one... Yeah, this jump here could be probably the most difficult of this save, so I'm hoping once we get this out of the way, the rest shouldn't be too bad, but obviously I'm not having any practice at the moment of the rest of it. That is awkward, that jump. I feel like I'm jumping against just slightly too early. I need to you know, dip down a lot more, you know, just above the two spikes sort of facing toward each other. But the first spike facing left is yeah, a bit of causing a few problems. Okay, good. Is there a save? There is. Nice. Okay, still we go on. Admittedly, we're still just over 20 minutes or so, but yeah, still we go on. Yeah, I feel like we must be getting near the. I feel like we must be getting near the end, though. Can't be much more left, surely. Anyway, some narrow mini spike piles here to get through, which aren't too bad. That was just goddamn awful. I guess the thing with this mini spike one, particularly this jump here, again, is feeling like I need to make a... Wow, that was awful. Feeling like I need to make a very small jump, which again, is not something I'm particularly comfortable with doing. Yeah, let's not hit that spike again, that was just awful. Oh my goodness, are you kidding? I guess I had to still do one thing after that, but which I guess could trip me up. But yeah, that was awful. I jumped obviously just way too high there. I don't know what the hell I was even thinking about. Come on. Okay, let's not start aligning myself completely appallingly. Sorry, by align there, I don't mean actually like pixel aligning or anything like that. I just mean just generally not finding the gap in between those mini spikes. Why can I not just jump a little bit lower? I did not expect to land on that block. I mean, I should have just taken stock there, but I fully expected that I was going to be on the lowest ground there, and that I'd obviously need to jump up to reach this block. But yeah, apparently I made it to the block, and yeah, just jumped anyway. Fantastic. Yeah, that bit there, I'm not quite sure whether a line would help. I'm gonna, just out of sheer probably curiosity more than anything else, I'm actually gonna run up against the left-hand wall, assuming I can get there, and we'll see whether we can. Oh my goodness me! Yeah, I again don't know if that actually helped or whether you just do it normally or whatever, but that left wall was pretty close and looked pretty inviting just to do that, because again, that spike, obviously the one that's sticking downwards from the ceiling where you have to make the first jump, is close to the edge of that ledge, so again, don't know if a line would help. Right, moving on. More mini spikes. Joy. This could be quite possible. This could be a little bit tricky up here at the top. These are horizontal facing spikes. I'm going to mess up so many times on this, like, cross between a gate jump and a mini spike gate jump. I just know I am. Okay. Oh, bother! Should not have been jumping too high there. That was awful. I feel like the last jump here could be a little tricky as well. I figure I'm incredibly likely to twitch that one. But okay, no, come on. That might have crashed. Nope. Okay. Again, a little bit like what happened that I want to get culture to. I'm not quite sure how that would have appeared on the video, because what I thought would have been black when the game looked like it actually crashed fully on I want to get culture 2 before actually coming back. It didn't seem to do that actually on the recording. I'm not quite sure how it didn't. So yeah, I have no idea how that will actually appear. Obviously review that when I look back at the footage, but yeah, that could have done many things. I don't know how on earth that looked. But yeah, I could do without nonsense like that, please. Oh my God! What? I should just be able to single. Literally, I might even just be able to single jump. I think I can. I think that's what I'm trying to do, or what I have been trying to do. Just doing a terrible job at it, unfortunately, which isn't very good at all. Yeah, really? Okay, yeah, you definitely want a single jump out of that initially, but obviously I'm going to have to make a double jump at some point in time. But of course, it's always the overcompensate, undercompensate thing, where you jump into a spike, or sorry, in this case, this scenario where I've jumped into the spikes above me. That this time I've not jumped at all, or jumped way too late to the point where I've hit the spikes below me. So yay. I was not expecting this bottom bit to be causing so many problems. Way too many deaths on the bottom bit. I don't think I didn't get my double jump. I was just trying to position myself really nicely on the edge of that ledge and just sidled up to it, and unfortunately lost my double jump, which is absolutely awful because it doesn't actually look like you have to. It doesn't look like you have to be, particularly pixel perfect there with the length of that jump. And I feel obviously being the furthest over that I could be to the left there would help, but to actually not get, to actually lose my double jump on that is not good at all, and completely unnecessary. Yeah. I don't think I need to be anywhere near that precise with the jump. Oh, good grief! This is I actually think we are on the second to last screen here, or what is in effect the second to last screen. The last screen, by the way, the last thing you have to do, I absolutely hate, and it just kind of again falls into one of those why would you do that moments. But everything up to now has been really good. Unfortunately, this save here, this middle save on this screen, is just been a bit of a train wreck. Unfortunately, I just can't do anything at the moment. I can't get this. I can't do the bit. I'm messing up this jump way too much. I'm messing up the. Well, I said I would do, I suppose, so that's not come as any kind of a shocker. But yeah, I'm messing up the hybrid spike mini jump. Spike mini spike gate jump. This jump here is now just dying on way too much. What is going on? Okay, I think I actually need to be a little bit further over to the left there. I didn't feel comfortable there with when I was going to make the double jump. In order to get over to the ledge with the save on, so yeah, I actually feel like I need to be further over the left there. Really? As I say, everything else up to this point in time, I've had very little complaints about. It's all gone really, really well. This save has been a shocker. I'm not even sure if it caused like this many problems first time around. Again, maybe might have obviously just got lucky with a manoeuvre or something, or maybe I even did the final jump like first or second go or something. Oh, that was fine. That would have been fine. I again just jumped way too early there. Okay, I feel like if I'm just reasonably close to the left-hand edge of that ledge, I make pretty much a full jump. And then I just need to not twitch, panic, and jump way too early. Okay, I'm actually, obviously, despite the annoyance of failing that, and obviously the other deaths in getting up to that point, I'm actually feeling just a teensy bit better. Yes, good, fine. Okay, don't have to cut that or anything. That was, yeah, that was getting irritating. Okay, one last slightly irritating jump, admittedly. This corner one. I'm going to probably end up rubbing up against a few walls here just to see if there's a line that, yeah, does actually get me through. Again, actually, again, because I got through relatively quickly there, don't know if the line actually helped there or whether it was just a good jump and I made it as a course of getting through, but still. Just out of sheer curiosity, do I die immediately here? No, I don't die immediately here, but this does at least probably die off, yeah, off a border kill here, but at least it did kind of show off a little bit early, admittedly, the final thing on this stage. So yeah, I'm hoping I won't have to cut this but ultimately I've got very, very little to say on it, other than the fact that it's just a fairly stupid end to the area, and what has been a pretty fun, other than that lost save aside, and not a very frustrating, really not a frustrating one, but yeah, it's been a pretty fun area. But the final thing you have to do is just stupid. For starters, I hate getting over that spike jump. Without that there, actually, without this there, I probably wouldn't even complain about it too much, because I mean the top bit's just more or less a gimme. I'm not saying I'll do it perfectly every single time, but I hate getting over that spike, those spikes there. I die on it way too much. But yeah, this manoeuvre here, you've got such a long drop. It's an absolutely massive drop. Like you can obviously see here the shaft beginning here. You actually go down an entire screen. So the angle I've got here, you go down an entire screen, and then almost entire another one, and then have to pull off that jump, and I've pulled off the gate jump as well, first time, fantastic, and that's gone by amazingly well, and I actually don't feel like I complain about that. But seriously, this took about 15-20 minutes, I reckon, maybe not 20, maybe 15 minutes or so. I was dying so many times to those horizontal facing spike jumps on 2 screens above, and that manoeuvre there is just so bad. It's so bad. You can't even like hold right when going down when going down here, because you'll clip the spike or you'll just run into the spike that's sticking down from the ceiling. You've got to just make you fall so fast, it's such a bloody long jump. To have to make that tiny little jump, dip gate jump, position yourself between the 2 spikes on the floor there. As I say, you have to move right a tiny bit before you get there, but you can't move too early because you'll get to clip the spike on the ceiling. And then, yeah, get in between those 2 spikes and make that tiny dip jump through there. Is just like that. Yeah, why is that there? That was just so unnecessary. The gate jump as well also feels rather unnecessary as well. Thank goodness I didn't mess that up. But anyway, we can enter the warp. Hopefully the game doesn't crash when doing so. Thank you. Yeah, we're not getting lag really or slowdown other than a few minor points in time. But I'm putting that down to just general running of a PC rather than anything, like chronic lag or anything like that. But there's a few times now where it's stalled out, which is ever so slightly worrying. But yeah, it's not. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to be hindering me too much. And but yeah, rather than it not happen at all. So yeah, please go away if at all possible. Anyway, that was the Uhuhu Spike 2 area. Ended up taking about as long as the Uhuhu Spike area. A little bit shorter, I think, and I think far less frustrating, other than that one save on the second to last screen, the middle bit of it, which was just, yeah, getting on my nerves slightly. Yeah, to be honest, that section is pretty fun, and yeah, I enjoy that quite a bit more than the one at the bottom left, the Uhuhu Spike area. And yeah, the only thing I'd really complain about, to be honest, on that one, now I'm better at that screen where you have to do the 3 gate jumps and then jump over the spikes. That one's actually probably, I feel a little bit better than that. I've got a better grip of what I need to do there than when I first played it, because I had a god awful time when I did that. But yeah, the only thing I can really complain about on that is that final jump, that final dip drop. It's just completely unnecessary. But anyway, it's done. Don't have to worry about it anymore. And yeah, I'll leave it there. 5 out of 6 areas complete. Obviously, just to say, yeah, there was no boss at the end of that. So, but yeah, so we've still only done 2 bosses. We've got 3 areas left. There are 2 bosses left, and there will be bosses in areas 6 and 8. Because again, I've positioned this out such that I don't have 2 bosses next to each other. So yeah, areas 1, 4, 6, and 8. As I'll be playing them, or have played them, or will be playing them, have the bosses. So yeah, there's a boss to come next time in the area on the middle left. But of course, yes, I will save that for next time. And yeah, hope you join me for the middle left path. Until then, cheerio.